real quick, I want to do a fair use.
This is Dabu 7. You were looking at people that have taken to the streets in Chicago in response to Donald Trump saying that he's going to send the National Guard and ICE into Chicago. He makes these statements because of the recent shootings and the high crime that the city has seen. We've seen this also go down in D.C., where people have come out en masse opposing his use of National Guard troops in that city. Now, other cities are also being mentioned: Baltimore, New Orleans. But Trump putting out a meme here that seems to really tick some people off. That meme saying that he loves the smell of deportations in the morning, and Chicago is about to find out why it's called the Department of War. If you guys missed it, they changed up the main department name there to the Department of War over anything else, over the Department of Defense. And they're switching up gears here. It looks like they're going to go on the offensive from city to city. You've got the Illinois governor, Pritzker, responding, saying that Trump is a coward and a dictator, that they will defend their city. So this is just the latest, and where this is going, it looks like Trump's going to push ahead and do what they want and try to deal with all the court stuff later. This is some of the latest. Join me for the live streams Monday, Wednesday, and Friday night.
Yeah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. I want to give all praises and all honor and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachah HaKodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and do well. To the elder apostles, bishops in Connecticut, the bishops, the preachers, the teachers, the evangelists, and the four winds, preaching in truth and sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect, Shalom. To the Israelite foreigners whose phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through your father and have come back to the fold, Shalom. To you sisters, your Achwathim, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence. This your brother Aram Yahawada with the lesson. So this is the glossary of extremists and hate home. Right. It says America First. America First is a term that reference the World War II era, reference the World War II era America First committee is used by extremists in anti-Semitism, racist, and xenophobic ways. America First is conservative circles. In conservative circles often refers to the ideology that was promoted by Donald Trump when he ran for office and served in office, which emphasized American nationalism, non-intuitive, and anti-immigrant and anti-globalist beliefs. Yeah, so I got this right here for real quick, and put a little bit of Elder Yashawamba video, which was pretty interesting. Yeah, definitely you should watch this. This is a must see. I'm just gonna put a small piece, a think piece in here, just to kind of add on to what I'm, the thought.
But we're living in a time as well where we got to watch what we say. Things are getting ready to get tight. All right. You brothers on social media, on your Instagrams, your TikToks, posting certain videos, saying certain things. Be mindful of what you're saying and doing, man. Again, be circumspect. We're living in evil times. Now we stand boldly. All right. We bring out this information. We don't hold back. All right. But be mindful of what you're saying as well. Okay.
To loyalty scorecards for businesses, the deep state's war on truth.
Remember, what you do, okay, can affect, all right, hundreds of thousands of other, thousands of and hundreds of thousands of believers and people who follow you, all right, or who you on the team with. Just think about that. Now, we go.
And National Guard psyops to loyalty scorecards for businesses, the deep state's war on truth and independent thought is no longer covert. It is coordinated, calculated, and by design. Yet while both major parties, long in service to the deep state, have weaponized mass communication to shape public opinion, the Trump administration is elevating it into a new art form that combines meme warfare, influencer psyops, and viral digital content to control narratives and manufacture consensus. In doing so, President Trump and his influencers are capitalizing on a propaganda system long cultivated by the security industrial complex. What we're witnessing is not just propaganda. It is psychological warfare. Psychological warfare, as defined by the RAND Corporation, involves the planned use of propaganda and other psychological operations to influence the opinions, emotions, attitudes, and behavior of opposition groups. Today, those opposition groups include the American public. For years, the government has been bombarding the citizenry with propaganda and psychological operations aimed at conditioning us to be compliant, easily manipulated and supportive of the police state's growing domestic and global power. The government is so confident in its Orwellian powers of manipulation that it's taken to bragging about them. For example, the U.S. Army's 4th Psychological Operations Group, the branch of the military responsible for psychological warfare, released a recruiting video that touts its efforts to pull the strings, turn everything they touch into a weapon, be everywhere, deceive, persuade, change, influence, and inspire. This is the danger that lurks in plain sight. A government so immersed in the art of mind manipulation that it no longer sees its citizens as individuals, but as targets. Of all the weapons in the government's vast arsenal, psychological warfare may be the most insidious. As the military journal Task and Purpose explains, psychological warfare is all about influencing governments, people of...
And that's what the serpent was able to do in the garden. It was a psychological operation, a psychological war on the mind of Eve to basically, uproot her from her order, to look at her order as slavery, to look at, her role in, the dream team that was formed, by the Most High God, Yahweh, to bring about order and bring about a legacy of righteousness through the sons of God. The serpent was able to go into her mind and ultimately use her as a weapon against her own household, man. And Adam and his simplicity ate of it, and what came of it is disorder. And now the serpent has his way. Okay?
Yeah, so this is politics. This is Latin times, right? Now, I don't know how credible Latin times is, but I mean, it's there. If you Google it, right? Which I'm not going to go too far into this. I'm just going to read this. So it's basically saying ICE agents are now authorized to use spyware to access phones and sensitive data in immigration cases, which we know that it won't just be immigration cases, right? Because we know the simple truths to life, right? Because we know that power corrupts, and absolute power, which that's basically what Trump is giving him, and Trump is pushing absolute power, and absolute power corrupts absolutely, right? So it's going to be a corrupt thing that's going to happen right here, right? Which they're already pushing it, right? And yet, I got the same thing right here, Latin Times, which is, like I said, I don't know basically how credible Latin Times is. But it tells you, politics, ICE officers no longer required to seek approval before arrest as immigration sweeps expand nationwide report. Right? So I'm just giving you that real quick. I mean, you can go deeper into it if you Latin Times, just showing you how basically what he said, the operations going into it, and the psychological warfare in the mind, and it's just basically showing you, just give you over to a police state, and you go, oh, well, that's okay, it's all because we're gonna solve crime. But then who puts you in jail? You got the president that has more felonies than anybody ever had, and you can say, oh, he went to these trials and he did this, but you mean he's never did anything wrong ever that is worthy of prison, right? And you want to act like he has this moral standard? I mean, America in itself, how many times they got caught during the time of Freeway Rick, where the government was the one who known pulled in CIA, the FBI, and then they tell you that the FBI and the CIA is not an American entity. So they could basically do whatever they want to do, free range, because they're not an American entity. See how you're manipulated already? All right, so yeah, so this is Psalms chapter 27, verse 14. It says, wait on Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakwadash. Be of good courage, Salakia, and he shall strengthen thy heart, La'ab, your mind. Wait, I say, on Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakwadash. Right? It says, wait for and confidently expect Yahweh. Right, man? That is beautiful, right? Because that's where we're at, man. We're in a time of expecting Yahweh Basham, Yahweh Shai to show up, man. We're in the last days of the last days. We're in the final seconds, man. Right? What was that song? So I think it's a rock song. Final countdown. Yeah. It's like that's like the theme song of right now. If you into a little bit of rock, hey, sometimes the little rock and rolls, you gotta find some good songs. But yeah, I like some. But that one's a good one. That final countdown. But we're supposed to expect Yahweh. Be strong and let your heart, La'ab, your mind, take courage. Yes. Wait. Right? And the Lord said, be patient, right? Because, even Apostle Har hit, he was on a lesson and it hit me with a doozy. He said, learn how to die. I was like, what? Learn how to die. And that hit me for a doozy, and I'm thinking, God damn, man, that's kind of deep. Simple words, but you got to think, man. All the freaking the amenities and the different things, the convenience and everything in this world, yourself, the things that you want, your desires and all this stuff, you got to die to that shit, man. Hey, bro. Yeah, we're coming to the time, man. We're coming to the very end, right? And you got to wait. Yes, wait.
for and confidently expect Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, man. Yeah, so yeah, let's continue. Let's go on with this, because Esau, right? Esau is about to show that he gives 2 fucks, right? Pardon my French, about you Jakes, man. You know, he don't give a damn about you Israelites, you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. He don't care. He don't care. And this is Genesis 27:41. And Esau hated Jacob, right? They hate you. You're Yaquab. You're Jacob, right? Ultimately, the elect, Lord willing, right? You're the Israelites, right? Because though 2/3 of our people are Israelites, really, at this point, you're just Jacob, right? Like before he got his name, before getting endowed with the gift, with the blessing, truly, right? Right? He got the blessing, but the blessing really came after he wrestled with the angel and got the name change, because then the name fit the glory, so to speak. It was like you know, like you have a house, but you need a key to get into that house. I mean, you can even own it, right? It could be yours. You could own it, but without that name, it basically means nothing. I mean, without the key, it means nothing, right? You can't get into it, right? And that's that, right? You know, the name is everything, right? So, and that's where we're at now, right? We're living upon some shall, what it says, surname themselves Jacob, Yaquab, and others by Israel. See, and that's pretty significant, by Yasha Allah. That's significant, right? Man, don't send me down. Oh man, but yeah, let's. Well, I might have to now, because you know, it says it, and Esau hated Yaquab, which is Jacob, because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, La'ab, his mind, the days of mourning for my father are at hand, then will I slay my brother Jacob. And see, we're basically at that time. All the you know, the things that the Democrat did to appease you Jakes. Oh, that's okay. You're so-called this and that. And I know we put you in slavery, and really we're ruling over you more, and we put more hell on you than the other people, but we also have this compassion for you. So though we want to keep you in subjection, we want to show you some pity. So we'll create affirmative action. We'll create the DEI. We'll create the welfare system. We'll create these things. But the regular average Edomite, he ain't feeling that. Right? The one that just straight up hates you. And that's what Trump represents, man. Just an Edomite that straight up hates you. Not that I hate you, but I'm gonna give you some comforts. You know, I kind of feel bad. You know, like what's his name? Clinton. Right? That dude is the devil, but he gave some comforts. I believe the most amount of so-called black people got jobs under Clinton. I believe the only other one was JFK, right? Between Clinton and JFK is when Jakes was really doing well, right? But under these other men, they just straight up hate you, right? And that's what they about to see. Hey, now it's time to slay you, right? Now we're coming in that time. They're going to display their hate, right? It says, in these words of Esau, her eldest son, were told to Rebekah, and she sent and called Jacob, her younger son, and said unto him, behold, thy brother Esau, as touching thee, right? Hey, he planning on putting his hands on you. And that's what Trump is saying. That's what he just said. He said, you're going to find out why it is called the Department of War and not defense anymore. You're going to find out. And I love the smell of deportation in the morning, right? That's the time that we're living in, right? It says, doeth comfort thyself. And that's crazy. You know, for her to say it that way. Doeth comfort thyself. So what are we doing right now? We're going through the scriptures, man. The scriptures are what? Our comfort. We know these things that are about to take place. Esau's about to show his hate. The mourning for our father, Isaac, right? Showing that little bit of love, that little bit of, you know, I don't know if you call it empathy or not, but, you know, they're keeping you down, but at the same time, they kind of give you a little this, a little that, but keep you down. Hey, these Edomites are saying, look, we just want to take you out. We don't want you around at all, right? But it's deep that his mother said, doeth comfort thyself, right? So we're comforting ourselves in these scriptures, and this when you I'm just saying this as a man, not that I'm saying anything, just saying if when you look at it like this, you can almost look at it as like this is the scriptures, because it always refers to the scriptures or the wisdom as a woman, right? She's guiding you like a mother. Is always talks about it being like a mother. And the scriptures tell you, to comfort yourself in these. Like it's the comforter, right? And like a mother, it's warning you, right? You know. So it's, you know, to me, I'm looking at it like it's also like symbolic as like the scriptures too, like the, you know, how it guides you and mothers you. It what do you call it? Corrects you and lifts you up, and you know. But proposing to what? To kill thee, right? And that's what he just did. He proposes to kill you, Jakes, you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, right? Yeah. So this is Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 3, and say unto it, thus saith the Adon power, the Most High, Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakodash, behold, which means feast your eyes, look, pay attention. O mountain, right? The whole house. Mount Seir, right? Which means the Esau, that goes into Esau, Edom. That's his original home is Mount Seir. Not the Caucasus Mountains is his original cave home. His original cave home is Mount Seir, right? I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate, right? And that's what's about to happen, and that's what Esau knows. He knows that he's about to be desolate upon the earth, and he's trying to prevent it. So he feel like if he get rid of you Israelites, then what the problem is, huh? Was it Martin Lawrence on that what's that movie? Damn, it just slipped my mind. I just had it on my mind. Oh shit, when he stole the diamonds and shit, he just kept saying what the problem is. But yeah, that's it. Was like, hey, let's just forget I'm a thief, and I did all these different things, and what the problem is. We don't have a problem here, do we? And yeah, that's like Esau, man. What the problem is? Like, is there a problem here, sir? You know, I know I'm a thief, and I know I done stole this, and I know I've done all these other different things, but there shouldn't be a problem here. But that's just Esau. And I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakal Kadash. Right? So, I mean, quick little precept to go with that, showing you that is talking about Esau, right? Malachi chapter 1 verse 4, whereas Edom say we are impoverished, right? Because he don't want to go back to being the Bowers. But now the Lord is going to give you a name worse than being a Bower, right? If you're the Lord is going to make you wish you were just a Bower, right? Because we're gonna make we're gonna make your name lower than a Bower on the earth, and that thing was the most despicable name on earth in the first place, man. Right? You are the basis of men, but the Lord is about to, right? Lord willing, I'm one of those men. I mean, I'm saying it through faith. You know, when I was saying that, you know, because I would love to be one to just bring you lower than the time that you were the Bowers, like, you know, make you, because, you know, it's a saying that they say, you can't leave well enough alone. When you're doing well enough, you're doing good enough. But hey, Lord willing, you know, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. And you did that, man. The Western Roman Empire fell. You went into the Caucasus Mountains, right, to your second cave home. You came out, deceived the world all over again, built up Rome, Italy, Spain, Portugal, went into Israel, faked and falsified who you are, built up parts of Israel, because you didn't even build it in the actual place. Like, though, where you have the thing is not the city of David. And where's David? Where's Yahweh Shai? You say you fulfill prophecy. David's not there. Yahweh Shai's not there. The earth is in freaking turmoil, disease, death, pestilence. Animals are still eating each other. But no one came to this conclusion when it tells you that the lion shall lay next to a lamb and nothing's gonna happen. Why? You're saying that you fulfill prophecy. Well, let's see you lay a lion, a hungry lion at that, next to a lamb and see if nothing happens. Right? It ain't gonna happen. Right? You know, you're full of what they call it, malarkey, right? Oh shit. Yeah, gotta have fun with this, like I said. You know, Proverbs, and I will return and build desolate places. Thus saith Yahweh Bashem Yahushua Bashem Rakakadash of hosts, which means armies. They shall build, right, which you did, but I will throw down, which is going to be in this third war's nuclear holocaust, right? Right? That's what's about to happen, man. Nuclear warfare is about to happen, but before that, right, you're going to bring on your onslaught of showing that you're the hammer of the whole earth. But the hammer of the whole earth is going to be cut asunder, right? You know? So, And they shall call them what? The border of wickedness. And that's what's happening right now. Right? The slaughtering in Gaza, the genocide in Gaza, showing people like, wait a minute, these people are the wicked. Wait a minute, I thought you said you were the people of God. There's no way the people of God would say that they got done a certain way by a certain man with a little baby mustache over his face who held his hand up like that, you know, with the swastika, and would do another people that worse, really worse, right? You're doing this on live TV, social media, right? You're doing this, man, in real time with your hapsur, right? Your gospel, right? Hey, bro, yeah, you the border of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, has indignation forever, right? So you're just gonna get thrown down. So proving that it's Edom, yeah, Mount Seir is Edom. Yeah, so this is Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. And that's what you're doing right now. You're like, yeah, we're about to bring in this Novos Ordo Seclorum. We're gonna bring it all in. We're gonna bring in the MOTB. Yeah, we're gonna get these, and we're gonna keep our thing. And then all these little low-ranking Edomites, they're like, yeah, let's go, not knowing, though you saying you're not gonna take the devil's chip, you're riding right along with the devil, and hey, bro, you're gonna be too far in and can't return, and you're gonna get chipped, bro. You're gonna get chipped. You're gonna get the MOTB, right? Because you're gonna be too far in, and your hatred for Jake won't let you go. Won't let you go, and you're gonna get chipped. So rejoice, ye heavens, right? So you rejoicing, you so-called, you about to bring it all in. I got my hapsur, I got my Palantir, we got this, we got the military, we got our drones, we finna do this, we got our laser weapons, we ready. Yeah, we see the Atlas, what is it, Atlas I-3 is coming, and we seeing chariots pop everywhere, but we ready for we finna do this. We're gonna push forth the issue, right, so to speak, right? And yeah, you want the drama, but the Lord already spoke, man. I believe today they said that even Putin said that he's ready to go to war with NATO. So that's World War III. So that's in the scriptures, bro. Europe out of here, bro. You don't even know it, right? But it says woe, which means what? Destruction, judgment, ultimately, and judgment comes with judgment depending on who you are, right? Because judgment does come, but then if you're righteous, you get a righteous reward. But if you're wicked, being you're the border of wickedness, what's going to happen? The Lord said, I will throw down, right? Again. But this time you're not going to be able to come back and rebuild, right? Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, meaning the people, for the devil, right? Which is the false accuser, which that's what they're doing. They're using their psyops, right? To falsely accuse, is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. Yeah, so this is Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 5, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, right? Going back all the way back into Genesis 27, right? This is from the time that my father, mourning for my father's end, and we're at the time where the mourning's about to end, right? Ain't no more like I said, ain't no more DUI, ain't no more Section 8, no more thing, because the what it says, You should be nourished for a time and a half of time. There's no more nourishment, right? There ain't no more playing patty cake, or or was this sparring time is over. When you box with the little joint on the headgear and the gloves. Well, Esau's about to pull the gloves off, right? No more gloves, no more kid gloves. What they call it, no more Mickey Mouse gloves. That's what Esau liked to say, right? No more. He's not finna play, right? And that's his hatred, and has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword, right? And did it at 70 A.D., right? Well, really did it time of the Greeks, but definitely the time of 70 A.D., which they're going to do it very similar, but much more, because they're going to use the technology with it to encamp about you, to basically to entrench you in, right? To put up the palisades, you know what I mean, right? To block you in through their hopsur, which they call it now. They call it here. They call it the palantir, but the hopsur is their the prototype of it, because they've been using it on those Palestinians, which the Jewish in their language, right? In their modern Hebrew, it means the gospel in English. So we know that Esau's weapons, his weapons is his gospel. See, has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword, right? And that sword, right? Whether if it's surveillance, it's his gospel. It's a weapon, right? Surveillance, and then it tells what targets to kill, what buildings to demolish, and that's coming here to America, Babylon the Great, right? And in the time that their iniquity had an end, right? And our iniquity has an end right now, because hey man, this is the place of our captivity, and the most prophets have been raised up here, right? The bulk of the Israelites are here, and so the bulk of the prophets are here, and they're prophesying from one end of America to the other, and that's the real manifest destiny, right? Besides the missiles coming to make this place a desert, right? And that their iniquity had an end. See, and now that's what it is. He's going to come down with great wrath, knowing that he had but a short time, because our iniquity has an end. So he's like, what? No, we got to go kill these people. We got to do this. We got to do that. We got to shut it down. We got to make it where it's hard for them to get any food. And if they don't got any food, for sure they're going to go steal something. That's iniquity. They're going to go do something that's going to cause iniquity, and it's going to throw off prophecy, and then we can get them. Then we could chip them, and then everything will go the way we want it to go. This is their ideology. They figure if they starve us out, right, we're going to commit some type of iniquity. They're going to come out and try to fight us. We're going to try to do this. We're going to do that. And we're going to commit iniquity. But, hey, bro, you don't have no fight from the prophets, bro. 2/3 you might have a fight with. But the prophets you're not going to have a fight with, because guess what? Lord willing, those who get taken, they ain't going to fight you, because it's their lot to be beheaded. But then the others, hey, the Lord's going to give them spiritual powers, and it's going to be the last thing you're going to wish you never did put your hands on them ever, right? Or if the angels come around them, maybe the angels encamp around them, right? That fear the Lord, because that's what the scriptures say, and show some mighty works, and you're going to wish you never try to put your hands on them. The Lord said, touch none of my anointed and do my prophets no harm. So what do you think that you're going to do? What do you think the Lord's going to do? For therefore, as I liveth, saith Yahweh, the outer one, power Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Sith thus has not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Since you didn't mind killing the Israelites, You coming down with great wrath, knowing that you have but a short time. Hey, the Lord is going to pursue you. Yeah. So this is Revelation chapter 12, verse 13. And when the dragon saw, right, dragon, the red dragon, meaning the Roman Empire, which is the second leg of Rome, or Rome 2.0, the one with the deadly wound that was healed, that did return, NATO, EU, and America, right? That dragon saw that it was cast unto the earth, right? Which means what? Being in a low state, unto the ground, being in a low state. He persecuted the woman, right? And that's what they about to do. The woman being Israel, right? Which brought forth the man child, right? Which that's twofold. Also, that represents Mary when she had Yahushai, and that was what was his name? Herod the first, right? The first Herod, the actual Herod. I think the one that actually, I believe he looked like an Edomite, right? And then the other Herod, they were mixed, and they actually looked like Jake. But the original one, Herod, not unless was he mixed too. Nah, I believe it's the first one, right? But it was the first Herod, and to the woman, right, which represents Israel, was given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, which is America, unto her place, right, which place of prophecy, time for when it's going to be time for it to be sleep or dead. Which is the dead body shall lie in the streets, right, for a time, that place into her place. But then and there's going to be a time they wake up, and that's where we're at now, where she was nourished for a time and a half a time from the face of the serpent, right? But now we're at the time that the serpent is about to show his face. He's about to rear his horns. And the serpent, right, going back from the Garden of Eden, from the very beginning of the garden, right, which deceived Eve, and then Eve deceived her husband, which brought us into this lower state where we die, but we're about to get raised back up, back into God's again, where we don't die. That's what's about to happen, and this is what the serpent, he basically just put a pause on it. That was just a temporary, but that was his thing to knock it down. And the same MO, basically. We're about to be gods again, and he's trying to prevent that from happening. And the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood, right? They're going to come down with their military, right? After the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away of the flood, right? To be destroyed by the military, to be killed, concentration camps, right? Get micro C-hipped, right? These are the things that they're hoping for, right? Yeah, so this is Isaiah chapter 59, verse 19. So shall they fear the name of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai from the west. That's over here in America, right? The Western Hemisphere over here. Started in Harlem, 125th in Harlem, right? A small sanctuary, right? And the truth is flourishing through our elders, apostles from GMS, right? Who has the 100% gospel truth, right? And his glory from the rising of the sun, which is the east, which that's where our Lord is going to appear in that fathership, where the whole world shall see him in the end, right? It says, when the enemy, right, which is Esau, Edom, right? He hates us. He hates us. He hates you, Jakes. He hates us, right? He hates us with a passion. Yeah. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, right? See, and that's that flood he's coming with, right? To come against us. The spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai shall lift up a standard against him. Yeah, so this is Isaiah chapter 59, verse 19. And I'm going to do this because the Lord's going to lift up a stand. The spirit of the Lord. So let's start with the spirit, right? Rakah. Because they got a ruach, but it's Rakah. That's how you say it, Rakah. But they're close, ruach, but it's Rakah, right? And it says, wind, breath, mind, right? Yeah, what should give you the breath, the understanding, the mind, the wisdom, knowledge, understanding, the breath, right? Which that's really what it goes into, the breath. Yeah, courage, temper, anger, right? Yeah, because the Lord can give you his anger, because there's a scripture speaking about how you will have the anger of the Lord upon you, right? Right, in righteousness, right? And you know, was prophetess, sorrow, trouble. Yeah, we're gonna get sorrow, trouble, spirit. Yeah, but because there's things, but the Lord's gonna bring us through that sorrow and the trouble. The spirit of Yahweh, third person of the Trinity. There's no such thing as a Trinity. It's the Father, the Holy Spirit, right? Right. There's no such thing as Trinity. God the Father and the Son are only one in agreement, not one as in they're the same person, right? And we're one when we're in agreement. That's what the Lord said about a man and his wife. He said, let a man and his woman become one. Well, they're not the same person, right? But they became one, right? In agreement. Let any two agree as touching anything, and it shall happen. And that's that's ultimately what's happening, right? As impelling prophets to utter instruction. See, that's what it is, or warning, and that's what we're doing. And this is the main thing right here, right? Because we're coming to a time of war, because that's what he said. He said that he's you're gonna know why it's called the Department of War and not of Defense. It says imparting warlike energy and exclusive Slakia and administrative power. See, because we're going to be raised up kings and priests, right? That's an office, a ranking, right? That he can't touch. So come in and touch us, and the Lord's going to raise up a standard and put war-like energy within us. Click back out, same verse, going to standard. New, yeah, that's some modern day whatever. But basically, standard meaning to what? To flee, to escape, to flee, to escape, to take flight, depart, disappear. See, spiritual power, bro. Warlike energy with spiritual power, where you could disappear, reappear, and man, I mean, to take flight, to the attack, right? See, be able to attack, right? To the attack, take flight to the attack on horseback, right? Right? Maybe in the chariots and take off. You know what I mean? Hey, like Ezekiel, they grabbed Ezekiel by the chariots, grabbed Ezekiel by the hair and took him over to Daniel, right? And fed him, right? It says, I know, I think it says Habakkuk, but I believe it's Ezekiel though, right? Because I believe in the scriptures, when you go into the actual Bible, it says something about Ezekiel got taken, you know, by the chariot, you know. I think but hey, I had to look more into that because, you know, yeah, I just had to look more into that just because, yeah, to disappear, hide, right? See, the Lord's gonna give us spiritual power, man. So it's gonna be a totally different ball game in a little bit. So come on with it, right? Come on with it. And hey, the best part is Yahweh Shai is gonna be here, and Michael is coming. That's gonna be the best part. That's when it's gonna be fun. That's when it's gonna get fun, bro. Hey, man. So with all that, I want to give all praises and all honor and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha HaKodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and do well. Right? To the elder apostles, bishops in Connecticut, the bishops, the preachers, the teachers, the evangelists, and the four winds preaching in truth and sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect, Shalom. To the Israelite foreigners who phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through your father and have come back to the fold. Shalom. To your sisters, you Achwathium, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence, and a Bible ball, and Kwam Yasharallah.